Man, you've gone with the seatbelt. I like that.
Yeah, look, you have to really look after yourself in the car. Mum and Dad taught me that, so I dead set thought we were driving, so I probably should take this option.
No, man, safety first. I love that. I love that. Man, okay, so recently, well, not recently, your whole career, you've been Perth, you've been Sydney, looking at my notes down here, Korea and Thailand,
Yeah.
back to Perth, now in Newcastle. Talk to me about the move to Thailand and Korea. What happened over there?
Yeah, obviously, had a great stint in Sydney, and then logically, I just thought the next step, as a young lad growing up here in Australia, was to try my hand overseas, and Asia presented itself as a perfect opportunity to do that, and yeah, went to Korea and had a fantastic time, experienced a totally different way of life. And then again in Thailand, and it was an experience and a half time. I came home with some stories, let me tell you.
Can you tell us about what it was like, the professional footballing environment over in Asia compared to what it is here? Obviously, you've grown up in Australia, you've lived your whole life in Australia. What was it like playing professionally, I guess, as an import over there?
Yeah, it was mad. You have boys. Obviously, we come here and we train here in Maitland. And when you went to train in Korea and Thailand, boys lived on campus, so they didn't live anywhere else. They lived and breathed what they were doing each day. Yeah. Some days we play on a Saturday, and the coach would say, okay, everyone needs to be in the clubhouse by the Wednesday night. So we'd have Thursday night, I'd have Thursday day there, Thursday night, Friday, Saturday. Sometimes we stayed there the whole week if results weren't going our way. So it was quite challenging in that aspect. Obviously, I was over there with my wife, and she was by herself in a country where she didn't speak the language, and so it's a you put it into perspective. We don't know how lucky we are to live in the country that we live in here in Australia, especially the way of life here. But on the flip side, the cutthroat and the mental resilience you can build doing that for a long period of time, I take my hat off to anyone ever who's played overseas. It's not easy.
Now, you've come back to Australia, you've landed in Newey, it's your first time living in Newcastle. Has anyone brought you a present, like a welcoming to Newcastle present? Any of your teammates given you anything?
Let me see. There's a fella on the team. Dane Ingham's his name. I call him Kevin because he has a split personality. Bless him. And Kevin's been very good. He's been very welcoming. I've got to meet Kevin a lot over this time. And he's been one that stood out to make us feel very welcome. He has a good mate, Angus Tourgate, as well. He was obviously Newey. Well, not I was going to say Newey born and bred, but he's a Port Macquarie fella. But he's been here most of his playing career. And Hoffy as well. Hoffy's obviously a Newcastle legend. Call him Jeremy Hoffman. So they're to be fair, like you go anywhere, you go up to Coles or Woolies or a cafe, and probably the best thing about here is like you don't get given presents or this, that, and the other, but you can tell like if we're up and about this year and we're up the top end come the business end of the season, I just have this feeling Newcastle will be all for it. Like they'll get round you hard, and all the conversation I've had with people is that. So that's what we're aiming to do. We're aiming to be at the big dance come the end of the season, and hoping everyone can enjoy the ride with us.
Is that an exciting aspect of coming to Newcastle, that it is, I don't want to say a small community town, but it does have that feel, right? Compared to where you've played before?
100%. Yeah, it's obviously getting that vibe with the Knights and the women's team there, and then the women's team here and us. It's a very local. The local pride's huge. And yeah, I've gone into Commonwealth Bank to get a new ATM card, and I was chatting to the lady there, and she was a mad Jets fan. And yeah, I've had a few of them conversations now with different people at different stages, and I'm like, yeah, man, if we can have a ripper year, the vibe would be awesome. I could only imagine what the vibe was like a few years ago when they did make the grand final and they hosted it here. God, if we could relive that again, that'd be pretty. Yeah, I could imagine the feeling. Pretty cool.
Now, you said you haven't been given any presents specifically.
No, Kevin, meeting Kevin.
Okay. If you had neighbours move into a house next door to you, are you the kind of guy that's going to go over and take them a basket? Are you going to bake them a cake? Do you welcome them to the neighbourhood? Are you a present giving guy in that sense?
See, I'd love to say yeah. I would. I'd love to say yeah, but that's my wife's domain. We bought a family home back in Perth, and she went round, and both sides of the neighbour, she baked brownies, lemon slices, caramel slices, vanilla slices. Any slice you can get your hand on, she baked.
Mate, can I come to your house? Is that a regular?
I can't live there because I get too fat. So, but I need to find out who lives next to me first. Like, I need to be more switched on there. Once I find out that, then I will. Then I'm not really like I won't, but I'll have a cup of tea with them. I'll have a coffee and I'll have a chin wag with them. Angus Tourgate's my neighbour at the minute.
How's that going?
Yeah, he's nice. It was quite funny. Like, I came here and all the boys were like, "Oh, you're up against it now. But Gus is your neighbour." I was like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Oh, just wait and see, wait and see." And I'm still waiting to see what that is, because he's been top. He's been grand. Yeah.
I was watching your press conference from when you first came to Newey. You were talking about the boss's football philosophy that you really love it. Mate, do you have a life philosophy that you try and live by every day?
A life philosophy. Wake up in the morning and see how we go.
I like that.
Yeah, life philosophy. Like, I've learned, in me 28 years, haven't a clue what I was like as a baby. But I'd say in me 10 plus years as a professional, the biggest thing I've found that really helps me is from a day-to-day perspective. You've got things that are inside of your control that you can always tick off your list. You can't control the weather. You can't control your performance. You can't control if you're playing week in, week out. You can't control if you win. But what you can do is prepare yourself to the best of your ability to give your best every day. And there's certain things and certain markers that I try to tick off every day, whether it's prehab, gym, a few extras, watching what I eat, how I sleep. Certain things that I know I'm going to bed each night going, yeah, I had to go that day. And if you do that consistently, whether on a weekend you play well, you don't play well, we win, we don't win, at least if we've prepared to the best of our ability, at least you can look yourself in the mirror at the end of the game and go, look, I had a crack. Wasn't to be or it was to be. And how can I move on to that next stage of I'll do it all over again next week? And I've found that being able to be in that headspace, I used to ride the highest of highs. And then if I couldn't kick snow for open one game, I wouldn't speak to my wife for a few days, and I just felt like I was riding this, and I said, this isn't the way I want to live, and especially the last couple of years, it's been nice to live that way.
Now, something you mentioned there is you can control what you eat. You've just had a big training session. What's your favourite post-training feed?
Jesus, where do we start? Because I am a fiend for sweet tooth. Like, sweet tooth. So I've tried to do like a life hack or a cheat code.
Okay.
One of the things is I try eat something that tastes really good, which is obviously really bad for you, but it's not. So I'd make this, all the lads laugh at me, and Daniel Steins, he moved over, Cal knows, and Archie I've been telling him about. I make this every single day, and it's one of my go-tos. I just call it my pancake. And what it is oats, banana, egg whites, Greek yogurt. Mix that in a blender, put that in the frying pan with a little bit of olive oil, put a few squares of dark chocolate in, put it in the oven like you're cooking an omelette, and it rises, and you flip it, and literally this thing comes out as a massive big pancake, drizzle a bit of honey on that, and you're laughing. So that's my go-to, because it's satisfying my sweet tooth.
Yeah.
It hits what I need to hit, carbs, proteins and fats after training, and it tastes unreal.
Is there any chance you can film that and show us how to make that?
What, cooking with Branners? Yeah, cooking with Branners, I'll show you. Yeah, Steins was like, you're not, Anna actually was like, you're not having that thing again. I'm telling you, it's my go-to, it's my staple, yeah.
Mate, I love that. Now, you mentioned you're a sweet tooth. The final question for today, right? We've got a party mix.
Can I eat that bag?
No, I wouldn't do that to you. I wouldn't, I'm sure the nutritionist would be on me if I got you to eat that. So we've got a party mix, right? Yeah. I want us to unpack what kind of a guy you are, if I can open this.
Yeah, right.
You got one lolly you can pick out of the party mix.
Only one?
Yeah, only one. Let's, I want to see what kind of lolly you're going. Maybe you have to pour them out. I don't know if you can reach what you... Yeah, just pour them. We're all friends
all
here.
Of them,
yeah, why not?
Oh, bingo, bango, bongo. There we are.
Okay, so we've gone the humble snake. Talk us through your choice.
This is probably my go-to. For the size of each lolly,
that's a great
bang for your buck, you're always on the thick snakes. And I'm always... Do you know when you go into a packet of even naturals or this, that and the other, I always gravitate towards strawberry.
Yep.
Or whatever. This is grape, is it?
Grape, I guess.
Grape, yeah. And it just lasts longer. Like I don't mind a frog. To be fair, I'd eat that whole thing there. But yeah, bang for your buck. You can take a nibble, take a nibble, last longer. So yeah, snakes. So they look good, don't they?
What do you reckon Archie will take?
Archie. He'd probably go a frog. Maybe a frog. He's. That's interesting. Whoever eats these, something's wrong with them.
Yeah, the bananas are gross.
They don't need to be in the packet. They need to go. Yellow can go. Green can go. These things here, these aren't. Yeah, don't. If they're in there, you go, oh, I got sweet tooth, I'll have something. But it's more the frogs for me, the snakes. Even old mate here, the purple, I'll have him.
Yeah,
That
the jelly
snake's good.
jelly babies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Okay.
Confectionery connoisseur. But yeah, my snake. Snake wins it. Yeah, snake wins it.
Well.